Dear friends, welcome to Learning About. In this video, I'll be solving some of the previous year TCS questions. So I'll be solving some of the numerical ability questions from previous year TCS papers. So this video is part 2. Part 1 I've already solved and uploaded earlier. The link to that video is available in the description below. So those of you who have not watched it can watch it. So just like the previous video, I'll be solving different questions from different topics. I'll not be repeating the topic so that you have an idea of wide variety of questions that you can expect in this exam. So as far as the current year, this is the pattern that has been given by the TCS. We have talked about it in the first video as well. So these are the titles from which you can expect questions. So you can pass and look at the details. Okay, now I'll be question number 1. What should be subtracted from 4 power 15 so that the remaining value is completely divisible by 31? So this question is based on reminders. Okay, so you should subtract something by which when you divide, after which when you divide by 31, the remainder is 0. So this is the question. Now we should try to connect, okay, this 31 and 4 power 15. Is there some way we can connect it or make it closer? Yes, it is possible. Now we know 2 power 5 is 32. 2 power 5 is 32. So this 4 power 15, I can write it as 2 power 30. So 4 power 15. Now 4 is 2 square. So I can write it as, maybe I'll go just step by step. So I can write it as 2 square whole power 15, which I can write it as 2 power 30. Okay, so we know 2 power 5 is 32, which means I can write 2 power 5 whole power 6. Okay, so 2 power 5 we know it is 32. So I can write it as 32 power 6. Okay, now 32 by 31, remainder we know it is 1. Okay, now what we have here, this 4 power 15 is 32 power 6. Now as per the remainder theorem, whatever power that you take for the numerator, the remainder also gets the same power. Okay, so which means here it doesn't make any difference. The remainder is still the same one. So 4 power 15 by 31, the remainder is 1, which means 4 power 15 minus 1 by 31 is completely divisible by 4 power 15 minus 1 is completely divisible by 31. Okay, so that means the remainder is 0. The answer is, so the value of x is 1. Answer option A. Okay, so this is something we can do directly. So the idea is you have 4. Okay, now we should bring that 4 into something closer to 31. So we know 32 is 2 power 5. Okay, so 4 power 15 is 2 power 30, and then we proceed and get the answer. Answer is answer option A, 1 for the first question. So train running at 54 km per hour speed takes 20 seconds to cross a platform. Next, it takes 12 seconds to pass a man walking at the speed of 6 km per hour in the same direction. So, same direction which the train is going. Find the length of the platform. So, we know when the train is crossing a platform, let's assume that length of the platform is LP and the length of the train is LT. What happens here? The distance covered is length of the train plus length of the platform. That is the total distance covered. Okay, now when a man is walking at 6 km per hour speed, and when the train is going at the rate of 54 km per hour, now what happens here when they are going in the same direction? Here the speed is the relative speed, 54 minus 6, okay, 48 km per hour, and as far as the length is concerned, it involves only the length of the train. That alone, only the length of the train. And of course we know the other basics, that is speed equal to distance by time, and also we know that speed is usually given in terms of kilometer per hour, and if you want to convert it to meter per second, you have to multiply it by 5 by 18, and from meter per second to kilometer per hour, it is the other way around, it is 18 by 5, though it is not required here. So we need only 5 by 18 as far as this question is concerned. Now what is the distance So let's try to calculate the distance. Distance is equal to speed into time. Okay. So length of the train plus length of the platform is equal to, what is the speed here? 54 kilometer per hour, which I should write it in terms of meter per second. So 5 by 18 multiplied by 5 by 18, and for which it takes 20 seconds. Okay. So this is 3 into 5, 15, 15 into 20 is 300. So length of the train plus length of the platform is 300. Now if you come this side, the distance is equal to, or length of the train now, which is equal to 48 into 5 by 18. Now for this it takes 5 seconds. I'm sorry, 12 seconds. For this it takes 12 seconds. So 18, this is like 3 times 6 common. This is 8, and 3, it is like 4. So 4 into 5, 20, 160. So length of the train is 160, and length of the train plus platform is 300. So length of the platform is equal to 300 minus 160, that's 140 meters. 140 meters. That's answer option A for question number 2. Okay, that's a simple, though it is little time consuming when compared to other questions, but still it's a simple time, speed and distance question. The third question is a time and work question. It's again a repeated and a very popular question. So A is twice as good as workman as B. See, whenever you get this twice and thrice and so on, now among the two values given like A and B or whatever, right? Now take the big value. Take the big value. Now take the ratio. Now what is the A and B ratio here? Here it is 1:2. Now big value by sum of the ratios. Okay. Now that will give you the days in which like A and B working together, in how many days they'll finish. If they ask A and B working together, in how many days they'll finish. If they ask big value by, now among A and B, whichever is value is big value by sum of the ratios will give you the answer. Now this is applicable only when you have the ratio as like 1:to something. See, even when you don't have 1:to something, we can apply this in a different way. I mean, with a slight modification. But let me not get into all those details now. Let us just stick on to only this kind of problem where you have like 1:3 ratio or 1:2 ratio. Okay, so it should be like 1:x. Okay. Now, as far as this question is concerned, big value by 1 plus 2 equal to 18. Big value by 1 plus 2 equal to 18. So big value is equal to 18 into 3. This will go this side, right? So that's 54 days. Now among the two, A is twice as good, which means A will finish quickly. Okay, so which means B is the big value. B takes 54 days, and since A is twice good worksman, he will complete in half the time. A will complete in half the time in which B takes. So the answer is 27. The answer is 27 days. Right. Now, if you are not comfortable with this, now what is the alternate conventional method? Now, what we need is A. Okay. So 1 day work of A plus 1 day work of B. Now B takes twice the number of days as A. Now that is equal to 1 by 18. Okay. So 2A. Okay. So that's equal to 1 by 18. So 1 by A is equal to 1 by 27. This way you can solve. This is the conventional equation writing method. But then why did I suggest the other method? Because the other method you can get the answer even without writing even a single step. Okay, so that's why I gave the method. But whichever is comfortable, you please follow that. Third question answer is answer option D, 27 days. Now, fourth one, it is a kind of a linear equation question. We'll just right away write the values. So, what is given to us? It's 5 coffees and 4 teas. 5 coffee and 4 tea is equal to 96. 5 coffee and 4 tea. Okay, and 5 badam and 6 coffee. Now that's equal to 32, and 6 badam milk and 7 tea, that costs 37. Okay, now what is the question asked is, the cost of 1 tea, 1 coffee, and 1 badam milk. Okay. See, now in these questions, you should look at the numbers that are given. Okay. Now, this is obvious, right? Now, 5 plus 6 is 11. So, 11 badam. 5 plus 6 is 11. So, 11 coffee. And 4 plus 7 is 11. Okay. Now, all this is 165. Right? Now, 165, we know it is 11 into 15. So, now what is asked? 1 badam plus 1 coffee plus 1 tea. What is the cost? That's 15. That is 165. 11 is common. So, 165 by 11, that's 15. 15 is the answer. See, in such questions, either when you directly add, you will get that 1 plus 1 plus 1, or if there are two variables, 1 plus 1, or when you instead of adding, maybe when you subtract, or when you make one equation twice and then you add the other equations, like that. Okay, so some way or the other you will get this 1 plus 1 plus 1 if there is three variables, or 1 plus 1 in case of two variables. Okay, so and that will be something very obvious. The answer is answer option D. Now question number 5. A mixture contains alcohol and water in the ratio 4:3. So you can write the values as 4x and 3x, and 5 liters of water is added to the mixture, and the ratio becomes 4:5. Okay. So you have 4x by 3x plus 5. Now that's the new ratio is 4 by 5. Okay. So usually I follow the alligation method, but for this question, with the given numbers here and the type of question, the conventional equation method, like you get the answer more quickly. So when you cross multiply, you get 20x is equal to 12x plus 20. So you get 8x is equal to 20. So which is means x equal to 2.5. Now what is asked is alcohol. Alcohol is 4x. So 4 into x is 2.5. Now that's 10 liters. That's answer option B for this question. Okay. 6, it's a question from calendars. So it talks about month of January having 4 Thursdays and 4 Sundays. On which day of the week did January first occur in that year? So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they say that there are 4 Thursdays and 4 Sundays, which means, uh, see, in 31 days, there'll be 4 days of the week which occurs 4 times in a month. That will be 16, and there'll be 3 days of the week which will occur 5 times. That will make it 15, and a total of 31 days. Okay. Now the question says 4 Thursdays and 4 Sundays. Okay. So which means Fridays and Saturdays also should be, because it is consecutive, right? So it will be the number of days will be like consecutive, right? So in which case Monday, there'll be 5 Mondays, 5 Tuesdays, and 5 Wednesdays. Okay, it has to be consecutive, like whether it is 5 or 4, it is it has to be consecutive. So 3 days have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will have 5, because it says that, because the question says there are 4 Thursdays and 4 Sundays, the only possibility is that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will have 5 days, right? Now, from which means we can understand that Wednesday will be 31st. Okay, Wednesday would be 31st, right? And so Tuesday would be 30 and Monday would be 29. Okay, 29th of January. Now, which means the answer is answer option A, Monday. Why? Because see, 1, 8, 15, 22, 29. Now these will fall on the same day. Monday means Monday, Tuesday means Tuesday. Okay. So because plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, 7 days in a week. So plus 7 plus 7. Okay. So 1, 8, 15, 22, 29 will be the same. 2, 10, okay, sorry, 2, 9, 16, 23, 30 will be the same, and so on. Okay. Or even let's say like 4, 11, 18, 25 will be the same, and so on, right? So the answer, so 29th falls on Monday. So 1st of January would also fallen on Monday that year. So answer is answer option A for question number 6. Question number 7. So it's a good question. And also it's a very popular question asked in different exams. So it says at the end of 1994, R was half as old as his grandmother. The sum of the years in which they were born is 38, 44. How old was R at the end of 1999? Okay. So let's just try to find the value of, now let's say the year in which R was born as like YR plus age of R. Okay. Now that's equal to 1994. Okay. Now year in which the grandmother was born, let me take it as YG plus twice R, because if R is half of the grandmother means grandmother is twice of R. Okay, now that is also at the same 1994, at the same 1994, grandmother is twice. Okay, so whatever is the year of birth of grandmother, that's okay. And so these two equations, let it be there. And it says YR plus YG, YR plus YG equal to 3844. Now that's also given to us. Okay. Now let's just sum it up. You get YR plus YG plus 3R is equal to this is 8, this is 8, 3988. And we know this part YR plus YG is equal to 3844. Okay, so 3844 plus 3R is equal to 3988. So we get 3R is equal to 3988 minus 3844. I guess the calculation is simple. We get 3R is equal to 144, which means R is equal to 48. So his age is 48 and grandmother's age is 96. Now the question asked us how old R was at the end of 1999. So at 1994, R is 48. Now we have found, okay, at 99 means after 5 years. So 48 plus 5, 53 is the answer for this question. That's answer option D. For answer option D is 53 for question number 7.
Question number 8. A circular swimming pool is surrounded by a concrete walk which is 4 feet wide. If the area of the walk is 11 by 25th of the area of the pool, then find the radius of the pool. Now we can use a diagram, an image for reference. Okay, you can draw this image. Now 4 feet is the length of the sidewalk. Okay, you can take the radius of the pool to be R, and the radius of the larger circle, okay, we can take it as capital R. So we know capital R is equal to small r, that is the radius of the pool, plus the length of the sidewalk. Okay, now what is given to us is that area of the walk by area of the pool. Now they are in the ratio 11 by 25. If you have to represent it by the variables or in terms of equation, you can write now the area of the walk is what? The largest circle pi capital R square minus smaller circle, okay, which is the area of the pool, whole divided by area of the pool, so pi R square. Now the problem with proceeding like this is that it's going to take a lot of time using these variables and all that. So best thing to do would be to go with the answer choice, but before that we need to do something. That is, what is given to us is that area of the walk and area of the pool. Okay, so what is the area of the larger circle? Area of the larger circle would be area of the this is just, I'm just inverting what I have written in the numerator there. So area of the walk plus area of the pool. Okay, now you take the ratio between area of the larger circle and area of the pool. Now that would be 11 plus 25, okay, by 25. So this would be 36 by 25. Now area, we know it is pi R square. So we get that R square by R, capital R square by small r square, that is 36 by 25. Okay, so from that we can get that R by R is equal to 5 by 6. R by R is equal to, 6 by 5. Capital R by small r is 6 by 5. Okay, so now just look at the answer choice. Now this is our answer. Okay, why? Because now what is given in the answer choice is small r. Okay, now what is capital R? Plus 4. Okay, so plus 4 means this should be 23, 25, okay, 24 and 27. Okay, so anyhow these are not in the ratio. So 6:5 or 5:6 ratio you get only in terms of answer choice C. So capital R and small r, they are in the ratio 6:5. So it is 24 and 20. Now what is asked is the radius of the pool, okay, that is a small r, which is 20, which is answer option C. This is the best way to solve this question. Now
Now question number 9, A, B, C are distinct integers. 28A plus 30B plus 31C equal to 365. Then what's the value of A plus B plus C? Now if you are not comfortable, now we have to go, since it is three equations, I'm sorry, three variables and one single equation. We have to go by trial and error. Now if you're not very comfortable with solving such questions, you can solve the other questions in the exam and then come back to such questions. Now here what I would suggest is, see, I'll go by the unit digits. Now this is odd, okay, the unit digit is odd, okay. Now this is even, now this is even, so which means this should definitely be odd, so C can take only 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. Right. Now with that I'll assume to start with C equal to 1. Now if I assume C equal to 1, what happens? I'll get 28A plus 30B is equal to 334 if I put C equal to 1. Now this part is going to end with 0. Okay. Now let's assume for for instance I'm removing that part. Now which means this 28A should end with 4. Now the only possibility of 28A ending with 4 is A being 8. That will be 224. Now what is the problem when you have 224? 334 minus 224 is 110, which is not a multiple of 30. Okay. So this C equal to 1 is not possible. Now the next number is C equal to 3. When I put C equal to 3, what happens? This is 28A plus 30B. Now that is equal to 272. Okay, 272. Now here again, okay, now this part would be 0. Now, so 28A should end with 2. Again, that's only one possibility is A being 4. Now when I put A equal to 4, what will happen? Now 30B, when A equal to 4, it is 112. Okay, 28A is 112. So 30B, only possibility is 160. Now that again is not possible because 160 is not a multiple of 30. Right? So similarly, it will happen for C equal to 5 also. Now only possibility is C equal to 7. When you put C equal to 7, what happens? 28A plus 30B is equal to 148. Okay. Now this part is ending with 0. So 28 you want to end with 8 means only one possibility, A should be 1. If A equal to 1, this part is 28, so the remaining is 120. Now 120 is an exact multiple of 30, so 30 into 4 is 120. Okay, 148 minus 28 is 120, so 30 into 4 is 120. So I can say A is 1, B is 4 and C is 7. So 1 plus 4 plus 7, that's equal to 12. So answer is answer choice C. The answer is 12 for question number 9. Number 10. So this is a very easy one. So you have a 6-letter word and you want to have the vowels occupying the odd positions. What are the vowels here? E, A and I. So you want to have a vowel here, and a vowel here, odd positions. Okay, so which means the consonants will occupy the 3 more consonants that will occupy. Okay, so what will happen? The 3 places can be occupied by the 3 vowels in 3 factorial ways. For the vowels, this is for the vowels, and then similarly the 3 consonants can occupy the 3 places in 3 factorial ways, because it's 3p3, that's 6. Okay, so 6 into 6, 36 is the answer for question number 10. 36 is the answer for question number 10. Now question number 11. A shopkeeper buys 11 apples for rupees 10 and he sells 10 apple for rupees 11. Find the profit percentage. Now we'll just go by the conventional method here, that makes it simple, though it is a bit lengthy. So we want the profit percentage. We know the profit percentage is equal to selling price minus cost price upon cost price into 100. So here the cost price first, cost price per apple, we'll write everything per apple. So cost price per apple is 10 by 11, because 10 rupees is for 11 rupees, for 11 apples. So cost price per apple is 10 by 11. Likewise, selling price per apple, if you want to calculate, it is 11 for 10 apples. So it is 11 by 10 per apple. So we want the profit, the absolute value of profit per apple. So that will be equal to 11 by 10 minus 10 by 11. So that here the denominator is 110. So we'll get 121 minus 100. That's 21 by 110 is the profit. Now what we want is profit percentage. So that will be like 21 by 110 upon cost price is 10 by 11, the whole thing into 100. Okay, so we get 21 by 110 into 11 by 10 into 100. So the two zeros will get cancelled out. 11 and 11 will get cancelled out. So you are left with 21. So 21 percentage. That's answer option B for question number 11. Question number 12. How many 3-digit numbers can be formed from the digits 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 and 9 which are divisible by 5 and none of the digits is repeated. So you want only 3-digit numbers, which means you have the hundreds digit, tens digit and then the unit digit. See, the unit digit is fixed because it is divisible by 5. The unit digit has to be 5 or 0. But here in this case, you have only numbers like 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. So you don't have 0. So among the given numbers, only 5 is divisible. So unit digit can only be put only one way. Okay. So as far as tens digit is concerned, you can use any one of the numbers other than 5. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. So any of the 5 numbers can be used other than 5. Okay, so 5 ways of doing it. Totally 6 numbers in which 5 cannot be used. So 5 ways you can write. Now as far as the tens digit is concerned, you cannot use 5. Okay, because repetition is not allowed and 5 is used in the unit digit, and you cannot use the number that you have used in the hundreds digit. So you have only 4 numbers there. So 5 into 4 into 1, 20. That's answer option D for question number 12. Now we come to the last question. There's a very popular question. So this question, it says the weights, the value of diamond is directly proportional to square of its weight, and the diamond breaks and falls into 3 pieces in the ratio 3:4:5. Okay, so for example, if initial weight is 12x, now it is broken into 3 pieces of 3x, 4x and 5x. Okay, and the original value is 72,000. Okay, now value is equal to value is proportional to square of its weight, right? So we can take a constant k, okay, and w square. Okay, now here initially it is 12x square. Now k constant is applicable in all the places, or even you can even take k as 1. Okay, so whatever it is, just leave it. So 12x square. Okay, so 12x square, now that is 72,000, right? Now if you take the individual stones, okay, so here it is 9x square, here it is 16x square, here it is 25x square. If you sum it up, 9 plus 16 plus 25, it is 50x square. Okay, so if 12x square is 72,000, that is 144x square is 72,000. We get x square is equal to 500. X square equal to 500. Now what we want is the loss. If the original value is 144x square, what we have left out is 50x square. So what is the loss? 144 minus 50, 94x square is the loss. So if x square is equal to 500, 94x square is 94 into 500, which is 47,000 from the given option. So that is the loss because of the breakage. That's the answer for question number 30. With this, I have come to end of this part 2 video. Now, as some of you had requested, I have uploaded the questions. I mean, whatever I was able to access, I have uploaded in the Telegram channel. The link to the Telegram channel is in the description below. I hope this video and the methods that I've used were useful to you. If you found it useful, please like the video, press the like button and then share it with your friends. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching the video. Have a great day and all the best for your exams.